Hi everyone, this is Brittany. Welcome back to my channel. Welcome if you're new. I have so many new subscribers here on this channel and I'm so grateful for each and every one of you. Thank you so much for being here. When I started this channel, I asked Spirit to bring this information, bring my videos, bring this channel to the people who need this information. So if you've stumbled across my channel, any of my shorts, any of my videos, it's very purposeful. And that means that there's something in what I've said that you needed to hear for yourself. And I've set the intention for this video as well. So before we get into it, I sat down to meditate and I asked Spirit, what is the message that the collective needs to hear in this moment? And Spirit gave me a topic around self-centeredness. So that's what I want us to talk about in this video today. So I believe Spirit gave me this topic to discuss today because you all need to know that the role of the ego is to protect us. It really just wants to keep us safe. But by doing this, a lot of the time it seeks validation and approval externally instead of internally, because external is all that the ego really knows. But when the ego is overactive, we wind up prioritizing other people's needs and other people's desires and expectations over ourselves, which winds up leading to self-neglect. And what good comes from neglecting yourself? But we always have to talk about where this comes from. Why is it that this being self-centered, being selfish is looked at as being a negative thing? Why have we been conditioned in this way? I feel that it comes from religious and societal structures have literally vilified selfishness as a way to control people. The martyr archetype has been glorified. It has been put up on a pedestal. It literally encourages people to consistently give without fully receiving. The true self-centeredness is about pouring from a full cup. It's about prioritizing you, your inner self. It's about having a relationship with you. It really is about self-love and care. And what I realized when this message came through is that the majority of us are not prioritizing our own self-love and our own care. We say that we are. We're doing the external things that says, oh, I love myself if I work out. I love myself if I get my hair done, my nails done, if I can get my makeup done, if I can go to the store and buy myself this. But these are external ways that we use to validate ourselves. But what are we doing to show ourselves that internal love? That internal peace, that internal care? What are we doing? We have been taught that we just keep pouring from the cup, pouring from the cup, pouring from the cup. But at what point do we fill up our cup? At what point are we filling up our cup? Right now, you are being called to prioritize yourself. You're being called to be more present and to be more loving of yourself. Love on yourself is what you're being called to do, but loving on yourself from a place of internal love, not external validation, which makes it seem like you love yourself. I hope that you're understanding what I'm saying and the difference behind this. What this is also pointing to is a level of balance. Most of us have been out of balance for a long time. We don't really know what it means to truly incorporate balance into our lives. But what we're being called to do is to do that. Okay, so balance the self-centeredness, the selfishness with the selflessness. Sometimes we can kind of like swing from one extreme to the other. This is something that I've had to learn about being more balanced. You know, going from one side, it's almost like a pendulum when the pendulum is swinging just from one side to the other. But where we need to be is somewhere like in the middle, where you're kind of like swinging a bit in the middle. Okay, instead of being on one extreme or the other extreme. The goal is to live from a place of overflow so that your cup is filled first, and then you can give the excess to others. So how can we do this? How can we begin to live from a place of overflow? I do have some questions that I want to give you all to help you start thinking about how you can incorporate this more into your life. First question you should ask yourself: what do you need to feel fully nourished? What do you need to do in order to feel fully nourished? The second question is, are you giving from a place of abundance or a place of exhaustion? This is a great question. And then, how can you take responsibility for your own happiness rather than relying on others to fill you up? I would say use those questions as a measuring stick to just see how balanced you are in this area. Let's look at this from a higher perspective, because that's what this is about. Spirit wants us to start looking at things with our spiritual eye instead of our physical eyes. When you adapt this and change your perspective around filling up your own cup first and pouring from that full cup, you realize that by doing that, you're truly honoring the divinity within yourself. You are becoming more aligned with your higher self. That's the direction that you want to head in, is to be as aligned as possible in this human experience with your higher self. Because if you're operating from an empty vessel, you are not aligned with your true self. You just aren't. And also, when you really start loving on yourself and you're filling up your cup and you're prioritizing your inner self needs, you're inspiring other people to do the same thing. Imagine a world where someone sees that and it inspires them to do the same thing. They're like, oh my goodness, you're walking with this aura, this level of energy that I desire to have for myself. Like, imagine a place where we can do that. This is where we're moving towards. So you're hearing this, you're being called to step up, to be more in this place, in this energy now. So I have 6 steps for you that are going to help you move to a place of like true self-love that you can really start working and incorporating into your life. Okay, so the first one is to release guilt. Release the guilt around taking care of yourself. Release the guilt. That's number 1. Number 2 is to set boundaries. Okay, it's so important for you to protect your peace and your energy. Third, daily self-care. Create a self-care routine that truly nourishes you. Going back to that first question, what can you do to feel more nourished? Something that I typically do is I take the first hour of my day to myself. That includes stretching when I get out of bed. I meditate, connect to myself, connect to my spirit team, and then I get outside, I get in nature, I get in the fresh air, I walk my dog. And what I've noticed is that it helps me tremendously. And when I don't do one of those things, it almost kind of throws me off. So it's important to have a routine, a regimen, something that works for you. That means incorporating journaling, affirmations, meditation, exercise, whatever it is into your daily life that fills you up first. Next would be integrating the ego. Well, a lot of the times we want to villainize the ego as something separate from us. There is positive aspects of the ego, and that's what we want to integrate. Realize when the ego is being overactive. Number 5 is reclaim your power. So shift your mindset to a place of self-worth. You deserve to fill up your cup first. You deserve to pour in all of the self-love, and redefine the way that you look at selfishness. Change your perspective on it. And then number 6 is pour from a full cup. So focus on nourishing yourself so that you can begin to give from a place of abundance. Remember, balance is the key. When self-centeredness is balanced, it leads to a place of true self-love and care for self. And it also contributes to healing the collective. And that's really what the world needs right now. Okay, so I hope this message has resonated with you and there's something that you can take from this. And remember, if you've listened to this video all the way, it's time for you to start moving and redefining what selfishness means to you so that you can be more abundant and live in your most divine, highest self. So I love you all so much, and thank you so much for watching today, and I'll see you in the next video. Peace.